The better we can set a child on a path of learning to self-regulate, the more that child will thrive. Shanker and Hopkins, 2020. Hi, my name is Esther Markulowicz, and I work for the Peel District School Board. I will be presenting on planning to promote self-regulation. The reason that I chose this topic is because I had a child in my class, who I will call Billy, who was sometimes so overwhelmed by his feelings that he could not participate in learning experiences. I want to be able to plan in order to help Billy and others self-regulate so that all children will have equal opportunity to participate in the learning experiences in the classroom. Since self-regulation is a key skill to have in order to thrive, let us first examine what is self-regulation. According to the Kindergarten Program 2016, self-regulation is the children's ability to set limits for themselves and manage their own emotions, attentions, and behavior. Some people think self-regulation and self-control are the same, and that if a child is not self-regulating, it is because they are not trying hard enough. But this is not the case. We need to see children's behavior as communicating needs. According to Shanker 2013, self-regulation refers to how efficiently and effectively a child deals with a stressor and then recovers. If we see self-regulation in this light, then we can try to understand the cause of the behavior and view the behavior as a learning opportunity. The following are a few key ways that self-regulation enables children to thrive. Self-regulation enables children to be successful in school. According to the Kindergarten Program 2016, children's ability to self-regulate allows them to develop the emotional well-being and the habits of mind that are essential for early learning and that set the stage for lifelong learning. Also, self-regulation allows children to maintain attention and stay focused. In addition, self-regulation gives children the tools to develop social relationships. As well, Eisenberg and Sulik point out that self-regulation includes the ability to shift and refocus attention, and these abilities have been associated with lower levels of distress and frustration and other negative emotions. What is the teacher's role when planning to promote self-regulation? According to the Ontario College of Teachers Standards of Practice, teachers treat students equitably and with respect, and are sensitive to factors that influence individual student learning. Since self-regulation is crucial to student learning, teachers have a duty to help students learn self-regulation. But how? Xiu, Wang, and Chen conducted a study in 2020 with 94 kindergarten children in 4 schools in Taiwan. In one school, a class of 27 children were the treatment group. The rest of the children were the control group. The researchers used external mediators, a daily routine chart, songs for cleanup, and a play plan with the treatment group. They found that small-scale interventions with external mediators caused a significant improvement in self-regulation in children in the treatment group compared to the control group. Xu, Wang, and Chen conclude that self-regulation must be enhanced by specific instructional activities. My question is, what happens when the external mediators are removed? Are the children still able to self-regulate? According to the Kindergarten Program 2016, self-regulation is a deep internal mechanism that enables people to engage in mindful, intentional, and thoughtful behaviors. How can teachers plan to promote the development of internal self-regulation in children? When children have a problem with self-regulation, they may not be able to respond and recover from the challenges and stress that they face throughout the day. According to Tranter and Kerr, people exist in a continuum of arousal. When experiencing too much stress, some students experience chronic hyperarousal, and they can be highly active and overly sensitive to a variety of stimuli. Other students experience hypoarousal, and they appear inattentive and disinterested. When we are looking for the cause of stress, we need to look at all of the following 5 domains: biological, emotion, cognitive, social, prosocial. In the biological domain, a teacher can look at things like sleep, nutrition, screen time for causes of stress. I wonder if Billy, the boy in my class, had trouble self-regulating because of poor nutrition. He ate candy every day. In the emotion domain, strong emotions like fear of punishment, feeling lonely, and change of routine cause stress. Billy's parents punished him for misbehavior. In the cognitive domain, stress can be caused by learning something new, boredom, time pressure, etc. Billy sometimes did not want to do tasks that challenged him. In the social domain, things like carpet time, bullying, not being understood, being left out, etc. can cause stress. Billy would sometimes have an emotional reaction at carpet time. Lastly, in the pro-social domain, stress can be caused by waiting your turn, sharing, telling the truth, etc. Billy sometimes would have a hard time taking turns. Now that we have learned about some causes of stress, we can use that information to plan and implement some strategies for promoting self-regulation. Shanker and Hopkins have a 5-practice process for understanding and managing tension and energy.
Shanker Self-Reg is a 5-step method for managing stress. The first step is reframing, and what that means is really recognizing the difference between misbehavior and stress behavior. The second step is figuring out what the stresses are that have caused that stress behavior. We have all kinds of techniques for helping you get a broader picture of the stresses that a child's under. The third step is reducing the stress. Again, every child is different, so we have to have what we call custom-tailored strategies rather than off the rack. Then the fourth step is helping the child recognize what it feels like to be calm, what it feels like to be becoming overstressed. This is actually more challenging than you might think. And then the fifth step, figuring out what helps that individual child, what helps you get back to calm, what helps you restore and recover.
Shanker and Hopkins say that the first practice, reframe the behavior, is a game changer. When we reframe the behavior, we ask different questions. For example, I used to think that Billy had crying fits because he did not get what he wanted. Now we understand that there were several things that were causing Billy stress, and he was having trouble self-regulating as a result. I talked about practice 2, recognize the stressors across the 5 domains, in the previous slide. Practice 3 is to reduce the stress. Shanker and Hopkins mentioned the following ways to lighten the stress load: quiet time, playing outside, fidgets, yoga, a hug, cycling, breathing exercises, listening to music, and singing. The way that the stress load is lightened should be individualized because what calms one person may stress another. Billy became calm after having some quiet time. Practice 4 is reflecting and enhancing stress awareness. It involves noticing what is going on and recognizing what calm feels like for yourself, as well as what it feels like to become overstressed. Practice 5 is to respond with personalized ways to support restoration and resilience. Shanker and Hopkins mention that in this step, we seek balance as a part of a healthy lifestyle. The following are examples of ways to restore balance: restorative sleep, walks, time with friends, daily routines, feel-good exercises, painting, meditation, time with animals, and dancing. Regarding Billy, I would talk to his parents to find out what he might need to restore balance. For example, I could ask Billy's parents about his sleep patterns and daily routines. Another way that teachers can plan to promote self-regulation is in the classroom setup. If a classroom has bright displays on the walls and the classroom is overcrowded, this could add to the stress that a child is feeling. In the future, I will choose more neutral colors in my classroom, and this will lessen the stress that children like Billy were feeling. In addition, having quiet spaces in the classroom, like a calming corner or quiet workspaces, could be helpful in reducing stress. This slide has two different examples of calming corners. My classroom did not have a calming corner, but I will plan for one in my room for September. I think it would be helpful for the children like Billy to have a place to go that is calm and quiet when they are feeling overstressed. The calming corner would also be inclusive of children with exceptionalities because it would provide a place to go if they needed time to themselves. The following objects can be included in the corner: a beanbag chair, books, fidget toys, headphones, and music. The choice of objects in the calming corner should be according to the specific children in the class and what helps them feel a sense of calm. For example, Billy likes playing with cars, so putting cars in the calming corner would be appropriate. Driscoll advises that teachers help children practice going to the calming corner, reflect on how they are feeling, and focus on using strategies to get back to calm. After doing the calming activity, children do a feeling check, and if they are calm, they return to activities in the classroom. If they are not calm, they do the same strategy or a different strategy. Teachers can plan a learning environment which promotes self-regulation. For example, having choices in the learning environment is key. That is, according to the kindergarten program, when children have access to a variety of materials, tools, and spaces in the classroom, they gradually learn to select the ones that provide stimulation or a calming effect as needed. In addition, when children are playing in an inquiry-based learning environment, their interactions with peers and adults develops their self-regulation skills. For example, when interacting with others, children become aware of other people's thinking and feeling and adapt their own emotions and behaviors in the process. This is why it's important for teachers to plan and foster an environment of caring, kindness, and cooperation in the classroom. Then children will have a safe space to develop social and pro-social self-regulation. Although I believe I did model kindness with Billy and the other children in my class, I think I could have been more intentional in setting up experiences where the children solve problems with friends. Lastly, play and inquiry-based learning encourage self-regulation by providing experiences where children regulate their learning in play. That is, they naturally engage in play in their zone of proximal development. For example, they notice how they can make water flow through a tube. As they notice and build on their insights, they are regulating their own learning. When planning the learning environment, the choice of books is important in developing children's self-regulation skills. Cooper states that children can be shaped by books. Furthermore, the children in the stories act as role models for how to deal with their emotions and how to self-regulate. Teachers should examine their choice of books as to whether they contain children demonstrating self-regulation or powerlessness. Cooper looks at the book No, David by David Shannon. In the book, David is not given the opportunity to self-regulate, but only is constantly being told no. This book is often chosen because adults and children find it funny, but Cooper says it exploits the powerlessness of children for laughs. In the future, I will make sure that when I choose books for the classroom, they model for Billy and the other children how to deal with their emotions and how to self-regulate. It is important for teachers to consider planning for time outdoors in order to help children self-regulate. Why? Firstly, teachers need to keep in mind that spending time outdoors lightens the stress load in children and therefore puts them in a better state to self-regulate. Secondly, outdoors in green spaces in schoolyards increases self-regulation in young children. Taylor and Butts Wilmsmeyer did a study to find out if there would be self-regulation gains in kindergarten children related to frequency of green schoolyard use. They studied 385 children in 9 schools. In each school, one class engaged in curriculum and outdoor green spaces once a week, and one class engaged in curriculum and outdoor green spaces daily. They measured self-regulation at the beginning and end of the study using a standard performance measure, head, toes, shoulders task, and a child behavior rating scale. They found that children who spent more time engaged in curriculum and outdoor green spaces tended to demonstrate more self-regulation post-intervention. When reflecting on these results, I realize I need to plan for more time outdoors to help children improve self-regulation. A positive relationship between school and home is important for student success. When children have difficulty with self-regulation at school, it is important to consult with parents and families. According to How Does Learning Happen, families are experts on their children, and they are the most powerful influence on children's learning, development, and well-being. Families can give insight as to what activities will help children become calm and self-regulate. When school and home work together, encouraging the children to use the same self-regulation strategies, lasting change can happen. For example, when Billy first had difficulty regulating his emotions, I talked to his mother about it. She suggested that he take a deep breath and count to 10. We implemented the same strategy at school, and it helped Billy reach the state of calm. Documentation is an important part of planning in kindergarten. Therefore, we will first examine what is documentation and how it is involved in assessment and evaluation of learning. According to the kindergarten program, documentation is the process of gathering and analyzing evidence of learning that makes thinking and learning visible. This provides the foundation for assessment for, as, and of learning. Also, Growing Success, the kindergarten addendum, states, documenting the evidence of learning is the most important aspect of assessment in kindergarten. In addition, according to Policy 14 of the Peel District School Board, evaluation in kindergarten is the summarizing of evidence of a child's learning. Therefore, documentation is key in assessment and evaluation of student learning. A couple of examples of how I documented student learning were keeping samples of children's work and taking photos of children engaged in activities. For example, I took a picture of Billy balancing on stepping stones and sent it to his parents on the Remind app. Since documentation supports children's ability to self-regulate in kindergarten, I think it would have been beneficial to plan ways of using this documentation to further support Billy's self-regulation skills. For example, I think it would be beneficial if I posted pictures of Billy engaged in activities in the classroom. Then Billy and I could look at the picture together. Billy may say something like, "I was standing on the stepping stones. It was not easy, but I kept trying." By reflecting on his experience, Billy will probably feel like a valuable contributor to the classroom. When children feel valued, they are more vested in the inquiry and have a greater ability to engage in the following self-regulation skills: working collaboratively, regulating their emotions, and listening to others. There are still some questions about planning to promote self-regulation that would be beneficial to explore. What place do external mediators, such as timers or cleanup songs, have in promoting self-regulation? How do outdoor classrooms aid in the development of self-regulation? What methods of evaluation should teachers use when selecting books for the classroom in order to promote self-regulation? In conclusion, by following the methods and strategies contained in this presentation, I believe that teachers, myself included, can plan more effectively to promote self-regulation. Then children will be given the opportunity to thrive.